Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. We'll be on Calm Before the Storm. We've been having some good fun with the name of this map. For some of you are familiar with a player named Sea Calms, so we've been kind of renaming this map Sea Calms Before the Storm. But it's kind of fun, but it is going to be FinaOSpiffy and Zabro, so we get to see Spiffy play again, but in this time, it will be a TvT, and Zabro, quite frankly, going to give him a little bit more of a run for his money than I think he got from his last player. So let's go check and see what we've got for a league on this player real quick. Zabro, hold on just a second. Zabro. He is a diamond level player. Cool. So it's a little bit closer. We're moving up here one at a time, it appears, but that's all right. Whatever we can do, ladies and gentlemen, is always worth it. So Zabro here is going to be down as our pink Terran player in the bottom right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner, it is FinaOSpiffy. Feeling on top of the world right now. He is cruising through the brackets here pretty quick, man. I'll tell you what, taking down that win last game in pretty good time off of just the 2 base. About right before he was about to take his third there, so really good timing. His barracks now going down. Looks like a very standard opener from him. No gas quite yet, so let's see. We'll wait just a couple more seconds. If he does toss it down, that means early tech. If not, then probably not going to see any early tech, I guess. And he's cruising over here to Zabro's base, who apparently has just about the same timing so far, but he is going to be grabbing his gas there just a little bit sooner. Did get it down just before the 2-minute mark, so that could be indicative of some tech here. Could be a 1-1-1 type build, something like that, but could go straight for some mech. We'll see how he's going to play this out. I'm very interested to see what his strategy is going to be for a TvT. It's one of my favorite metagames, is the TvT matchup. Really is kind of exciting to me. There's, I think, a lot more possibilities in it than what there used to be. It used to be kind of tank wars is all you got to see. But I mean, I've seen some very interesting builds in TvT these days. We've seen like Mass Thor with Ghost support, which is kind of an interesting build. I've seen Mass Ravens against Mass Thor of all things, and it actually turns out to be pretty stinking nice. But so far so good. It looks like Spiffy is going to get a little bit gutsy here, going straight for his command center in the back pocket expansion. Wants that economy up and roaring, apparently. He's going to be working on his barracks here as well, tossing out some Marines. Should be in fairly decent position. He's got 2 Marines, and because it's such a large map, that rush distance really plays a factor here early game, so Zabro probably won't be able to mount a super effective attack without, I don't know, maybe either some proxy or just waiting just a little bit longer. And in that case, FinaOSpiffy's new economy will be kicking in at that point. So Tech Lab, however, does go down for Zabro. He's going to be working on a reactor as well. Looks like Mass Marine for now. Probably going to see some upgrades, but he's going to be securing an expansion of his own. But the expansion here for Spiffy is complete. He is working on an orbital command there in great time. So double orbital commands here moving forward, and he's got 2 more barracks going down, so he's going to have a pretty decent amount of infantry coming out onto the field. So good stuff there. Both of these guys now kicking it in the center of the map. Looks like Zabro's got to scout his opponent here. I don't believe he's scouted him. No, he has not. You can see that Spiffy did get a little bit lucky there. He scouted there right away. Is going to be cruising out here with a couple Marines. Should be able to deny the scout for just a few moments. Not a bad little deal. Zabro actually able to get this guy out of there safely. In the meantime, he is going to be sending out a Reaper. This Reaper does skirt the defenses here of Spiffy. Looks like he is going to cruise down here and be able to take out a couple of these SCVs potentially. I like it. Now up onto the high ground would be a great spot for him. Wow, great kills there, man. He's picked up 3 worker kills. Got to love that. Looks like Spiffy is going to be slightly out of position now. That mobility always coming into play there. Oh, he does go down. But good job. He almost got 4 kills. Still relatively cost effective there. The units tab shows that Spiffy is indeed behind there. 22 SCVs to 26 of Zabro. So Zabro doing a phenomenal job here with his opener, I must say, and that Reaper. Actually, fairly brilliant play so far. picking up those worker kills is very, very nice thing to do. And we've got Spiffy with his, quad mules up here at this point, but he is now working on his combat shield. Does have one reactor down, is going to be tossing down a factory, so I'm assuming he's going to be going for his drops here in just a little while. Back here at Zabro's base, looks like about the same thing, except he does have his factory down a little bit faster and is getting his starport out right now. But double orbital commands for him as well, using his mules back here in the back pocket expansion, which I don't mind. I'll tell you what, this is pretty nice play from both of these guys so far. Both of these builds are fairly similar. A lot of Marines for both players, and I'm wondering if we're going to see any deviation here, or is it just going to be mass Marines with drop ships for the entire game? Who knows? Could be very, very interesting play, though. I've seen some good mass Marine versus mass Marine play before. That's really interesting stuff. The upgrades definitely will play a factor, but once they get maxed out, then it is less so. FinaOSpiffy currently working on an upgrade too. He does have infantry weapons level 1 on the way. Should be in pretty nice shape. But Zabro does have a supply lead. He's got a good bunch of Marines already out on the field here. His economy is rocking and rolling. Let's just check back in on that units tab. Notice that Zabro does have 26 to 22 Marines and 41 to 38 SCVs. And then everything else from there is even, essentially, unless one of these guys starts scanning. But the tech lab here for Zabro working on Stimpack. Stimpack just barely going down for Spiffy, and it is going to be a drop from Zabro here right away. Is this one missile turret for defense here for Spiffy. So if Zabro flies right over top of it, obviously that's not going to be a great deal for him. But in the meantime, Zabro is sending out his Marines to the front of Spiffy's base, it appears, and going to go for this kind of two-pronged attack apparently. But these dropships do need to be careful. That missile turret is nicely placed there. And we'll see how that's going to go, but it looks like these guys are going to get into position here in just a few moments for an attack on the front. Look at this, Spiffy getting ready for a drop as well. Here comes your dropships. Are they going to make it past the missile turret? Indeed they are. A lot of Marines being dropped here, and looks like your dropships are going to be alive here for just a few moments. Taking out a couple of these units. Not a bad little deal there. Wow, look at this. Medevac healing up the SCVs is not working to be super effective here. We do have... Whoa, what the heck was that? I thought I saw a tank blast for a second, so I was looking for a tank, but it doesn't look like there is a tank. Maybe there was, and it got taken out or something, but it looks like Zabro does do a decent amount of damage here, but Spiffy does clean it up in pretty nice style. A little bit of attack at the front. We didn't really get to see that, but it looks like Spiffy was able to hold on there for a pretty good while. And Zabro, though, is ahead in the supply count yet again. 54 SCVs for this guy, too, man. He is really beefing up his economy. Notice he's tossing down his third in phenomenal time here. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great, Vinny. I agree with you, brother. Could be great publicity for ALT-Stracraft. So, but Spiffy now working on his orbital command. Looks like he will be taking an expansion here momentarily as well. But Zabro already has that guy in place here just about. So, see how this is going to go for him. Good scan going down here for Spiffy. Wants to reveal what's going on. It is going to be a bunch of Marines and some tanks, and the tank being picked up there. Interesting, and he scouted that. If he was watching, man, he would know that there's a potential for tank drops here. So I'm kind of interested as to why Zabro picked that guy up while he was being scouted. But that's alright. Looks like he is going to have his command center complete here in just a moment. Spiffy did get his third up and running a little bit faster. Actually, just barely flew that out there. Man, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Nice little composition from both of these players. A lot of barracks going down, however, for Spiffy. And that is looking to be pretty dang solid. Reactor on that starport still. Not going unused for now. Looks like he feels like he's got enough. Just the 4 medevacs is probably plenty. A couple more missile turrets going down. Looks like a sensor tower as well. Not a bad little deal. And Zabro cruising out across the field here, man. He's staying very aggressive against his master opponent here. And Spiffy, while he does have a nice defensive position, we'll see how this is going to play out for him. He needs to have a couple more tanks, and he doesn't have any tanks right now. I don't see any. Looks like he's just going Mass Marine. Now Zabro's little force here is being scouted by that sensor tower, so... Oh. Scan's going down, wants to reveal what's going on. He does see the army, knows that it's just Marines. So the big thing for Zabro at this point is positioning. If he can get his siege tanks into position, then he will be in great shape. If he doesn't, then Spiffy could potentially just annihilate him. Notice that Spiffy's going for a little bit of a drop here. Going to get these guys into position. Nicely placed missile turrets there. Going to be whapping away at those medevacs. Great reaction time here from Zabro, however. He pulls those SCVs there very, very quickly. And getting some reinforcements down here, trying to clean this up. Should be able to. Indeed, indeed. Nicely done. Looks like he's going to get back to mining here momentarily. And he still has a slight supply lead, but Spiffy is evening that gap there quite a bit. But for Zabro, we do have that +1 vehicle weapons on the way. Siege about to be complete for Zabro as well. And Spiffy just now starting to get out some tanks. He does have one already out on the field and going to be working on another one here. So it looks like he is going to start grabbing some tanks. Probably mostly for defense at this point, but he is playing very defensively, and it appears to be going okay. But let's just check in on that units lost. Notice that Spiffy is slightly behind here. But he has performed a drop or two, and I mean, if you can keep it fairly even on that units lost there, you should be okay in a TvT. But pretty good. I mean, both of these guys essentially have the same unit production capability at this point. And that's pretty nice, but it looks like Zabro is going to get offensive again, and I don't mean offensive in the bad way. Scan going down. Looks like Spiffy will be sieged up in a pretty good location there. Zabro sieging up there pretty quick. And we are going to see some tank wars here for just a moment. Looks like he's going to leapfrog one tank forward. If he leapfrogs one tank forward here in range of this tank, he should be in okay position. But notice that Spiffy does grab Vikings. The air superiority here is going to really come into play. I love this play from our Terran players. Air superiority really makes a difference if you're going to be putting tanks down. Looks like this little drop trying to make it happen. Not going to go down. Is that guy in range? He should be in range. Looks like it's in range. Just barely out of range apparently, but the range of 9. Pretty long. Here comes your drop from Spiffy. Dropping these guys all across the natural. Zabro probably going to be losing this. Notice that Spiffy focusing it down. He is out of position to deal with it. Does finally get back here. Looks like he is going to try and clean this out as quickly as he can. Not too bad. Supply counts are fairly even. And Zabro is going to be securing a 4th base, but it's kind of his 3rd now that he has lost his 3rd. Now Spiffy was working on this base, and he did lose it while we were watching that other engagement. But, I mean, he's okay. He should be okay for now. He's going to be tossing down another one. Should fly this guy out here just a little while. And Zabro trying to get offensive again. Staying on the offense. Not a bad little play here. Cruising forward with a pretty substantial force. Both of these guys about to be maxed out. FinaOSpiffy actually slightly ahead there. He's maxed out already. Does have a nice little siege line here. Not tons. Mostly Marines at this point. But he does have those Vikings in the mix as well. Oh, wow. Looks like Spiffy cruising forward there is going to lose quite a few units there to those siege tanks. And now we've got tank wars. Zabro going to be pushing forward. Looks like he does still have a supply lead and taking out now all of the tanks. It appears all the tanks do indeed go down. And now Zabro is in this nice position where he's got a whole bunch of Marines at the ready, and he's going to probably be able to deny this base here momentarily, but this tank is getting in his way. Going to focus down this command center, it appears, but tank's going to be sieging up here, and he should be in okay position. Good scan going down. Should be able to blast this tank away. One more shot. There it goes. And your Marines, and 3 tanks still out on the field for Zabro is looking pretty solid. Spiffy losing a lot of units right now. This is terrible, terrible, terrible for him. He's done so well so far in the tournament. We'd hate to see him go. But man, I'll tell you, Zabro showing a lot of strength right now. Back down to 2 base right now for Spiffy. That one is burning down as we speak, and his main is about to be mined out. Zabro is basically in this nice position where all he has to do is pull the trigger, and it is going to be a GG scenario. But he is going to wait, it appears, for a whole bunch of reinforcements which are cruising out across the map right now. He's got these guys stimming forward. He can't hardly wait. Looks like Spiffy did clear that out for just a few moments, but he's going to have to take another base immediately. This is just not going to work in his favor for now because this is just way too much economy for Zabro at this point to be dealt with. Zabro going to be keeping this forward position for just a few moments here. He's waiting for some more reinforcements. He's working on maxing out this army. But JJ out on the live stream is already calling GG, man. I'll tell you, I don't disagree. While I'm very, very sad to see FinaOSpiffy go, I do believe that this may be a GG scenario for him. He's going to try it, give it one last try, and I think this is the best play. Never GG too fast in a tournament like this, especially in a best of one. If your opponent makes a mistake, great. You know, that's what you want. You want to give your opponent the opportunity to do that. Tanks here at the ready for Spiffy. Looks like he is going to be able to hold on for just a few more moments. Does take out all the tanks, is going to be cruising forward. He does have superior marine numbers, taking all these guys out. And the third here for Spiffy is GG time. Oh my goodness, he says very well played. Got to love that. A nice compliment there from Spiffy. Zabro got to be feeling pretty nice about himself right now, but he will be moving on to the tournament, so congrats to him. Sad to see Spiffy go, but we will be moving on to our next game here momentarily, so don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll catch you guys then.